I'm explaining to when the classic man is a danger to you. And me too, tatted on my forehead. Go home, go to bed. I dress something we get this way come when the family unit is overrun. When the structure is undone. Some new concoction. Now I walk softly and carry a big stick. Original gorilla in the mist.
What's going on, Wack? Welcome back to the Franchise Show live from Radio Row in LA for Super Bowl 41. It's Joe Arrigo with my brother TQ.
Yes, we are back live in the building, ladies and gents.
First live show on social media, anything right now.
Yeah, man, we've been on a break, a little hiatus over the holidays. Got the new year coming all in.
Yup.
Fresh. And your boys are back. We in the building. How y'all doing?
Man, I'm going to tell you something, bro. You know this. I caught COVID over the break.
You did. You did.
Thank God I was vaccinated.
Scared us all. You had your vax. You had your shot. Thank God.
Yeah,
and
it worked
still
out.
Here, brother. You're still here.
But, man, let me tell you, we're here on Radio Row now. This is something that's big for the media industry. This is the who's who of everybody. And we were lucky enough and blessed enough. People think that we doing a good job to credential us for this all week.
Absolutely.
And we got a big week lined up. Today's really the first day. Monday is kind of like the day you get in town and everybody's kind of just mulling around, checking the lay of the land, just, pull the curtain back a little bit.
Yeah.
And then today, is the day where everybody is around. I mean, we got Jim Rome to our left. We got CBS Sports. We got McLovin from Andrew Perloff coming on tomorrow. He was on the Dan Patrick Show. I'm looking at iHeartRadio. The Fox Radio's in front of us.
NFL Network.
ESPN Studio.
Westwood One. It's going down around here, man.
Even Colleen Wolfe from NFL Network. We're going to try to pull her over today.
Oh, my.
I like Colleen.
Oh, my.
Colleen, she know her business. Yeah. She does. And then the FanDuel, what's our guy's name? We love his show. Pat McAfee.
Yeah,
Pat was over here, man. She's bringing all kinds of energy. So we're here, and it's a new year. A lot of new things happened, and we did some spaces on Twitter and whatnot, and now it's time to talk about what everybody in Raider Nation wants to talk about, and that is the new coaching staff. Last week, Squeeze, I was at the Intermediate Health Center, the headquarters of the Raiders for the Josh McDaniels press conference, and Andrew Ziegler, and I came away impressed. I think Mark Davis did a phenomenal job with everything he did from top to bottom when it comes to the way he conducted the search, the people he talked to, and the people that he, the way he talked to, and the way that the people he talked to, and the way he conducted the search, it was in silence. Yeah. It was just one of those things where he wasn't playing around, he wasn't messing around. It was literally, we're going to get the job done, we're going to find the best two guys that are qualified, and I'm going to hire them no matter who they are. What do you think of the search so far? Or what do you think of how the search ended up?
Oh, well, I'm a stickler these days for hiring people who've worked together. It's all about a team. When you're looking at an NFL franchise, it's a team on the field, it's a team off the field. And for our particular franchise, it's been a long time since that synergy between on the field and off the field have traveled together, basically. And it looks like that's where the head of the Raider brass, where their brains are, and that's a good thing, man. I think that this team is definitely on the up and up, and they've been on the up and up for the last, 2 years. And the last thing I wanted to do was break that up. If you look at what happened at the second half of the season last year, through all that adversity, through all the problems off the field, all the issues, made the playoffs, man. Yep. Raiders made the playoffs. So that should tell you right there that they're definitely the foundations for a good team going forward.
Shout out to Rich Bisaccia, a Packers special teams coordinator.
Oh, shut up. Shut up. To me, honestly, I would have kept Rich. I would have did whatever I could to keep Rich in the building. So if it's anything that I didn't like about the hire, it's the fact that we allowed him to leave.
But that would have been you couldn't keep him after being the head coach.
I get it, but
I
just would have been trying to do something, man, because the team loves him. And my thing is, I'm gonna listen to the guys in the locker room. I wanna hear what they have to say about the person that they go in the bat for. So if I had anything to change, that's what I would have done. But I look at Josh and Ziegler, where they come from. They're coming from a dynasty. They're coming from a rock-solid corporation type
For real.
type franchise.
For real.
They coming off one of the greatest, probably the greatest football dynasty we've seen in the NFL in our time.
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully they can bring some of that success to the Raiders, man.
See, here's the thing. I like Bisaccia. Everything he did, he was the right guy to navigate through the murky waters. And Mark talked about that. He said that reason he didn't hire either coordinator, he wanted them to focus on what they do specifically. He wanted somebody that knew the whole team and the whole team respected, and that was Bisaccia.
Yeah.
Okay? But the reason you don't keep him, you don't fall in love with the moment. It's like you date a girl. When you start dating a girl, and at first, everything is cool. You're like, oh, it's all the new love and this and that. And then it's like, after like 6 months, you're like, damn. Like, it was cool at first, but like, you got some things I'm not sure if I want to keep this. And I think that's what it was. I think there were some things that Mark Davis decided, like, you know what? Who am I going to put with him as his general manager? Like, and then that's not going to be the general manager's hire. So now the general manager's always going to have one eye on the next guy who he wants to bring his, but he can't bring him in right away because his job will be on the line.
I wasn't ever looking at him as a head coach, man. I understand he was an interim and then going back to special teams, blah, 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 blah. The bottom line is he's a great special teams coach.
100%.
A great one. And we allowed him to get out of there. He knows the team knows him. And, you know, the difference between this and the girlfriend analogy is that, like, your boys, your cronies, they don't really have any say-so in what girl you're gonna date. In this,
some people they do.
Well, they're idiots.
Some people they do. If they're not down with the homies, you know, and cool with them, I don't want a girl that's like that. That's some people's mentalities.
My homies can shut up about who I'm dating. Period. So in this situation, I'm just, like I said, I'm a stickler for listening to the troops. You know what I'm saying? And the troops all went to bat for Rich. They love him. And I mean, the Packers got them a good one, man.
Oh, he actually said something positive.
Jeez.
Hey, but let me say this. Do you think, and I'm not digging at anybody, but I'm going to ask, and I think it's a fair question to ask. Do you think that if they would have kept him as the head coach, that would have given certain players, a feeling like they have more say-so on what goes on within the organization?
Quite possibly.
And that may be a reason why they're like, you know, we're not going to, not like we're not going to do it because of this, but it's like, no, like you don't have that sway yet. You haven't won a playoff game. You haven't, you've gotten to, maybe a couple guys on that team as Raiders gotten to 2 playoff games, but I don't think that there's a thing a way for them to say, oh yeah, like this is the best way to keep him. You know what I mean? Like, let's be real.
No, that's understandable.
You know, and you bring in a guy like Josh McDaniels. Now, what I like about the McDaniels hire, and I'm going to talk about him first, is the fact that he was a coach before, and he has been, he's been a head coach, and he's failed, and he's taken time to better himself, learn from those mistakes, and grow. He's been very selective of where he interviews. He's been very selective of what teams he would want to work with and GMs he would want to work with. And again, he's grown as a man, not just a coach, but as a man. I like that. For a guy to just get fired within a day or 2 or weeks. I mean, look, we've seen it with Adam Gase when he got fired by Miami, and a few days later he's hired by the Jets.
Yeah.
Didn't work out. I think it's the same type of thing. You got a guy down that grew. He's a little bit older. I mean, me at 33 to me at 44 is a big difference in growth as a person. Sure. And you see that now. And he's working with it. It's like me and you working together. I'm working with my best friend. Like, we can say things to each other that people will look at like, damn, they're really talking to each other like that? And for us, it's like, this is the dynamic. It's whatever. Like, they don't see what happens behind the scenes.
Right.
But there's no offense taken. And at the same time, like, that's them two right now. They're working together. They're like, hey, like, nah, I don't want this guy. And they know what it's like, who they want to draft. They know the type of personnel they want. And they said something in the press conference to me that was telling. They're looking for guys to fit their scheme. They're not looking for the best athletes. They kept saying explosive. They want explosive guys. But it was, well, we're looking for guys that fit our puzzle. They're not going to try to put square pegs in round holes.
Good.
And I think that's something that we've seen in the last 3 years with the Raiders. There's a lot of square peg, round hole guys from changing from one defense to another to go back to the defense that you had at first, but you fired that guy that had that defense, that coordinator.
Yeah.
It just didn't make sense. And I think there's continuity. And that's something that they haven't had in a long time in the Raider organization, and it's in guys that are like-minded. That's very important. I think if you want to be successful in anything, you have to be rowing in the same direction, or as they said, pulling the rope in the same direction.
Yeah,
that's the way to be successful. And you see that now with them. And personally, I think they had two great hires. I really like what they did on the defensive side of the ball by adding Patrick Graham and getting him away from the Giants. That's a phenomenal defensive coordinator and a defensive coordinating hire. And, I think it's I think they're going in the right direction. I
hope so, man. I hope so. My thing is we need to get through this draft. All right. The draft in the offseason last year created a defense.
Yeah.
All right. It is time to expand on that creation. Let's not go crazy on wide receivers and all of this other stuff that we would normally do. More defensive linemen. Broken record. Tell me to shut up if you want.
You said it the last 2 years.
More defensive linemen. You cannot have enough people to rush the quarterback. We have to deal with Justin Herbert, Patrick Mahomes, possibly Aaron Rodgers.
That ain't happening.
You never know.
Ain't happening.
I
can tell you it's not happening.
That's 6 games a year, man. So at the end of the day, those are 3 of the best quarterbacks in the league. If Rodgers doesn't go to Denver, it's 2 of the best quarterbacks in the league, and we need to hit them.
Let me ask you a question.
We need to spend time on their backs, and we finally, this team finally broke through last year and got some pass rush going. We haven't had that in years. So I just want to make sure that they continue to platoon the line, continue to bring guys in. Got to work on the inside right now for sure. But hey, it's going to be a lot of pass rushers in this draft. It's a heavy defensive line draft, and we need to grab a couple.
It's the Franchise Show on whatever social media platform you're on. I believe it's on our IG and on TQ's IG as well.
Yeah, we live right now. Hey, what's up to all the TQ fans out there? Love y'all. I know y'all on here they talking trash because Manchester United is getting ready to play right now, so a lot of people are on my head.
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
Right. So here's the $150 million question, honestly. And I'm going to let you go first because I'm going to ask the question.
All right.
You resign Derek Carr, $150 million for 3 years? Or are you resigning Derek Carr, period? What are you going to do with Derek Carr? Because in the last year of his deal, at almost $20 million, and his value isn't as high, is the highest it's possibly going to get in his career right now.
I'm not sure that whatever the Raiders can get back from Derek Carr makes them a better team. I'll be the first one to say I have been a Derek Carr fan from the first time I saw him on Gruden's quarterback. What was it? What is his show called? His quarterback camp thing, whatever that was.
Yeah.
I've been a fan of his since then. He was a cerebral quarterback, and has been. But man, being a season ticket holder, my vantage point in the stadium, I just saw a lot of things that frustrated me. So, he was just. It just changed a little bit for me at the end of the day. But then as I'm going crazy during the season on my trade Derek, get Derek out of here, blah blah blah, with half of Raider Nation, I'm also looking at the scope of all this, and I'm like, okay, got to the playoffs this year, and I don't want to regress. Like the Raiders had a couple of bad games that they absolutely should not have lost, right? But still, man, it's like, what is the package that makes the team better in 2022? I don't see that.
So the question is, and the show you're talking about is
it's Gruden QB camp.
Gruden's Grinders. I'm a grinder. I'm Gruden Grinder.
Some about QB camp, whatever.
Spider XY banana.
Yeah, all that.
Spider XY banana.
All that.
Grinder. Hey, G Minor, shut up. I'm gonna leave that right there. G Minor talking about don't drive big trucks. Oh, I love you, fam. So, my response to you is this, and I don't think it's out the box weird or whatever, okay? You got to look around, and you have to see what you can get. And I know you're not a big draft pick person. I know that.
I am. Just not as a quarterback.
Okay. You don't like, especially this quarterback draft. You don't like this draft. If it was last year or the year before, you'd probably be like, yeah, deal him.
Yeah, it's different.
But right now, here's the thing. This is the highest his value is going to get. And at this point, with his value being that high, which you could potentially move up into the top 11 picks for him, let's say Washington offered 11 and their quarterback for him.
What quarterback?
Tyler Heineke.
Please.
No, I'm just saying. Or even with that, you keep him for a year and you re-sign Mariota, and now what you have is you have a stopgap. So you do draft a young quarterback. So 2 years from now, you never know. Kenny Pickett could be that guy.
Please.
I'm just saying, I think Vic Tafur wrote something in The Athletic the other day that I think is very telling, which was he believes, the same way I've talked about with you privately, I've talked about it on Spaces on Twitter, I tend to think that Mark Davis would take if McDaniels and Ziegler say, hey, we're not with this, I think they would take a step back and say, we'll take a step back for a year because it's not a rebuild. We can win if we build this thing with our defense and our running game. They've done it in New England that way. I mean, look, Josh McDaniels made Matt Castle a hell of a lot of money when he had that 1 year in New England and then went to Kansas City and left and went to Kansas City. And then he didn't make any money after that. I mean, he's made guys money. And look at what he did with Mac Jones.
You know what you're leaving out?
That he sucked after he got to Kansas City?
No, that is not what you're leaving out. That they play in the AFC least. They're not playing against any competition. The Raiders play against they play in one of the hardest divisions in this league, and this whole stopgap thing, like we've seen, love Marcus Mariota, but we've seen him play. We've seen what he can do. What's the guy? Heineke? No. So
I like Heineke.
Nah. None of these guys available, none of the guys that we have, none of the guys that we can get are better quarterbacks than Derek Carr. And that is the problem for me. And who knows? Like, we saw some things this year that we didn't like, but we also saw a significant drop in our offensive line production.
But yeah, but at the same time, how much of that was him holding on to the ball or him just he didn't I'm gonna be honest, this year, watching him in person numerous times from the press box and once as a fan in the seats, I'm sorry, I came away they could do a hell of a lot better.
With whom? A hell of a lot better. Name the person. Okay, You've said Marcus Mariota.
No, I'm okay. You asked me, I'm gonna give you a response.
Give me something.
Okay, so
tell me no draft picks and all this madness.
Okay. How about this? There's a quarterback that's going through a legal issue that's probably going to be resolved. You say you throw 3 draft picks, Carr, and maybe another player. Let's say Abrams for Deshaun Watson. You wouldn't do that? He's a top 3. I'll go as far as saying
I would do that.
I would go as far as saying Deshaun Watson is better than Patrick Mahomes. He's done more with less, or almost the same with less talent.
I mean, I ain't gonna say all that, but I would do that. I would make that trade for sure. But Houston ain't gonna make that trade though.
Houston don't have a lot of say, so he controls the cards with his contract.
So why he ain't going yet?
Because of the legal issue. Otherwise, he would be in Miami right now.
I mean, that's a pipe dream to me. If we can pull that off, fine, do it. But I don't think it's happening.
I'm just saying, there's that situation. The Aaron Rodgers thing won't happen with the Raiders. I'm going to tell you why. They don't have the draft capital that Denver has. Denver has a top 10 pick.
I get it.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So that's not going to happen.
I wasn't talking about the Raiders. I was talking about Denver.
Denver. Okay, I got you. That's right. That's right.
Other than Green Bay.
I mean, what if Matt Ryan was available for a couple years?
Matt Ryan?
I'm just asking a question.
Hell no. All of this going backwards, I'm not with that.
What about Kirk Cousins?
All of this going backwards, I'm not with that.
You think? I'm just saying it's all one and the same. It's all one and the same.
What do you mean it's one and the same? Because Derek Carr is a much better quarterback than any of the people that you mentioned other than
the running game itself will dictate that offense this year, and you're going to see a lot of Jacobs and Drake.
So are we getting some new run blockers?
I think you're going to see some more linemen. I think they're going to upgrade that offensive line. I think you're going to see that right tackle spot, and I wouldn't be surprised if they got another guard. They got
okay, because the Raiders couldn't run the ball this year.
Well, I think that this is the year to do it. It's a pretty good offensive line draft.
But the difference between last year and this year is 100% the offensive line. The defense took a step up, like we wanted them to. Huge step up. We said it last year. We can keep this offense going. All we need is a serviceable defense. We just don't need to be 32, 30, 31. But, hey, man, let's just tell the truth. Leatherwood and that bunch, they didn't have it this year. So, and I think that absolutely affects. It affected everybody on the offense, especially Derek Carr. So, I don't think it's as frustrated as we have been. When you got happy feet back there because you're getting lit up, and you've been sitting behind some tanks for years, like there's going to be a drop off. It's as simple as that.
See, he may have had happy feet because he's zeroing in on one person and not using the whole field.
Can we talk about the times when, guys would get open? Can we talk about times when they drop the ball? Can we throw that part in there? It was a lot of that going on, too.
There's a lot of receivers in the league that drop the ball.
Okay.
It's not like the Raiders. That's
sure had
a
lot of them.
That's not like the Raiders. The Raiders aren't the only team with that problem. I mean, there's a lot of other teams where guys drop balls.
Okay, but if you got a guy wide open and you throw the damn ball to him and he drops it for a touchdown,
how about you got a guy wide open and you throw it to the other side and throw it away? Or you got Deshaun Jackson running down the field wide open and you throw a ball literally 4 stories in the air because you're floating it. Because I'm in the press row and I literally looked at Kalani, our Raiders reporter, and the ball was eye level with me, and you're in the 300 level, and it was over your head.
I mean, I get it, man, but I'm saying, if you're gonna say that, what about the drop balls on wide open? Come on, man. What about those? You ain't gonna talk about those? How many times did he drop the ball when he was wide open?
No, that's true.
Or what about that silly fumble play that day?
Okay, Deshaun Jackson and fumbles.
Come on, man.
Goes back to high school. We seen him in.
Exactly.
Under American Under Armour, not all.
You don't think it goes back to high school in Derek Carr's head? Yeah, for sure. I'm not waving the flag.
Defend this. Defend this. Playoff game. You're
there is no defense.
No. You're 9 yards out.
I don't have
and
any
the play
defense.
the person you decide to go to is a yard short of the end zone, and you needed to tie the game on 4th down, and you throw to him.
There is zero defense.
That's his play call. And if he holds it a second longer, goes backside, he's got his 6'5" tight end against a 5-something corner. You throw it up, he catches it. I don't care if he's going half speed or not. You throw it up to the big guy and let him go get it. That's indefensible. And that right there, if I'm Mark Davis, pisses me off to no end. That and the fact you got your brother making media rounds talking about the team needs to show the commitment to my brother. When, correct me if I'm wrong, when he broke his leg, they gave him over $100 million? That's not a commitment? That's all I'm saying.
I'm saying you're making a point, and I understand your point. I'm not saying anything different from that. I'm not defending what he did at the end of the game. What I'm saying is don't lay all of it on him. It ain't all on him. The offensive line was absolutely horrendous this year. Horrendous. So if we're going to talk about Derek Carr's play, we got to talk about the offensive line. I am not sitting here I have waved the flag for Derek Carr for years. It's over. I'm not waving that flag here today, but I'm setting the facts out. And the facts are Raider Nation made some big strides this year. We made strides.
I don't disagree with that 100%.
We got into the playoffs. Don't blow it up. Make sure that you're doing your due diligence and seeing what you can get. This whole stopgap thing that everybody's talking about, I ain't with it.
I don't think it's a blow up. I don't think it's a blow up. I think Mark made that clear when he was at the press conference and said there is legitimately a foundation that John and Mike laid forth, and I agree with that. There's a solid foundation with Yannick Ngakoue, with Max Crosby, with, let's say, Denzel Perryman, Trayvon Moehrig, Waller, Renfro, Jacobs, the left tackle,
Agreed.
Miller. There's a strong foundation right there, but overall, in general, it's not necessarily a blow up. It's a tinker, and if you have to tinker and move the quarterback, because
that's a blow up.
No, it's not. Yes, it is. Oh, my bad. Are you in the same book that the dude said that he's a top 5 quarterback?
Who? Carr?
Yeah, top 5 in the league.
No, he's not.
Okay, so it's not a blow up. He's not a blow up. It's not a blow up at all.
Bro, listen. Some of the things that have been said since that last game, including you today with this Tyler Heineke madness,
I just threw it out there.
Just ridiculous. Like, let's not go backwards, period. Let's figure out a way. You just brought in 2 geniuses, right? Let's figure out a way to not go backwards.
I got an idea.
Whether that's getting rid of Derek Carr or keeping him, let's figure out a way to not.
All right,
go
so
backwards.
let's freak this. What if? I'm gonna throw this with your silver and gold bag of gummies. What if they traded for Jimmy Garoppolo and traded Carr and then traded for Jimmy Garoppolo for a year or so? He knows the system.
That's the same exact player.
But it gives Raider Nation one less person to bitch about.
They're gonna bitch about him after game 3.
That's fine. Let them bitch about. Then it's like, okay, now we can go get another guy. Let's
How? What is that? How does that make the team better?
Okay, let's just think about it. You trade for Garoppolo, who knows the system. You move on from Carr and you bring it, and you have now at that point, let's say a top 11 pick. You can use it on the best. You can use it on that defensive lineman you like, Wyatt from. I think his name's Wyatt from Georgia. Okay.
Yep.
Now you have pick 22. You can go get that receiver, the other receiver, because you're going to need a receiver. Because you've seen without Ruggs' speed what that offense did. So you're going to need another receiver. And then let's say second round, here's a guy we watched him play in person. Let's say they take a flyer on Carson Strong from UNR, the quarterback that we watched throw for damn near 500 yards.
Against who?
Doesn't matter. It's almost 500 yards.
Yeah, it matters.
Speaking of which, breaking UNLV news, defensive coordinator Peter Hansen to the Denver Broncos as their linebacker coach.
Wow.
Just came out. So,
Wow.
that's 13 UNLV assistants that have now gone to the NFL or Power 5 under Marcus Arroyo in a year and a half, going into year 2.
They're getting poached, man.
Hell of a job by Arroyo with his staff. Hell of a job.
Basically.
That's what that shows. But back to Carr. But Garoppolo would make a lot of sense because now you have a young guy you draft for a couple years and second round, you have him. You can groom him a little bit. And if you see it doesn't work, guess what happens in 2023? The salary cap balloons up, and there's going to be guys that's out there. I'm just saying. Then now you have a guy that can manage your offense, right? He can manage it, and then turn around, and guess what? If it doesn't work, we got a young kid. If not, we got a big guy. We can go sign a quarterback next year, or we can make a deal for a big quarterback. Let's say if it's Deshaun Watson. Let's say it's somebody. I mean,
I just feel like that's doing a lot to not get better. Like we're on a trajectory of getting better. The Raiders have won one more game every year. All right, we got 2 more years of this, and we should land in the Super Bowl right at home.
I got an idea. Why don't they wait a year and draft Doug Brumfield? Doug's right there. He said, "Hey, draft Dougie."
What's up? Hey, what's up, Dougie? You want to be the Raider quarterback? What's happening?
I was saying, he got the best arm in the state right now. Ain't even close.
We'll take it.
But
I mean, at the end of the day, bro, it's like I keep saying, man, I have not thought of a scenario where trading Derek Carr makes the team better. Until I can see that, I'm not going to be calling for that right now.
Okay, let's flip.
That may change. It's fluid, but it's just right now. Boy, it's just going to be hard finding a better quarterback than the one that we have.
Let's flip to free agency. Is there anybody that you think that the Raiders? I know you don't have it in front of you, and I didn't pull it up, but is there? Let's just say positions of need besides offensive line. What are you looking for the Raiders to do, and who would you bring back that is currently a free agent on their team?
I think that cornerback position absolutely needs some help.
Would you bring Casey Hayward back?
Yes.
Okay.
I would.
So Casey and Trayvon Mullen, you good with those two?
I'm good with those two. Got to get somebody else.
You don't think Hobbs is the guy?
Hobbs is the guy.
Okay.
Hobbs is cool, but he plays where he plays. I think we need a guy to come in on the outside to get a blow.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like platoon it. I just feel like in our division, you cannot have enough pass defenders and enough pass rushers.
Right.
Got to deal with some arms. You got to deal with some serious quarterback talent in the division, and that's 6 games. So I'm always a stickler for, hey, if you have a position of need and that guy is not the guy that you want in that position of need, go get a D lineman, go get a cornerback.
That's Pat McAfee here in the background. They're over there wilding out.
As they do.
I love it. Hey, question. You think Aaron Rodgers is going to make his announcement over here this week?
What, that he's doing what? Going
Coming
to the
back?
49ers?
Coming back? He ain't going there. You're crazy. What else? You know, I agree with cornerback. I think that would be a, you know, imagine they had Rasul Douglas on their team this year. Imagine that,
man, right?
And he went to my squad and balled out. I think quarterback. What about Darius Phelan? I would love him to be back. You know,
Phelan,
Phelan.
Yeah.
He's a friend,
a dog,
and he's a friend of the show. I mean, he's kin to some of us, to our people. So I like Phelan.
Yeah, you can see the difference when he got hurt.
Yeah.
You can absolutely see the difference.
What about my guy Denzel Perryman?
For sure.
I love that cat's game.
For sure. Like, the defense.
Head buster.
Like, this defense was, it's not, like, they're nasty. You know what I'm saying? It's high motor guys. It's guys that's nasty. They put their head in it. They hit hard. Most of them know how to tackle. You know, you had a couple of guys that before this year, we just had guys that didn't know how to tackle people, man. Didn't know how to wrap guys up. And this year we did some much better tackling. And at the end of the day, here I go, broken record again, man. Defensive line really made some strides this year. The defensive line really got to that point that I've been waiting for, man. Those old Giants defensive line with Human Ura and all them dudes. Those 49er defensive lines, like, that's what you need in our division. So I'm just all about, in a defensive line heavy draft, grabbing a veteran somewhere that we could bring in that could kind of steer the group, and then bringing some fresh new guys out of the SEC.
I got a position
fire on it.
You ain't even talked about yet.
What?
Another safety.
Yes.
Got to get someone opposite of Morig.
That is a need.
Yeah.
That is a need. If my man Abram is going to be there, I think they need to bulk him up. They need to bring him down into the box, because that's what he's a linebacker.
Okay, real quick, because we're gonna take a break in a little bit and come back. We're gonna have James Jones, former Raider, former Packer, Super Bowl champion. He's gonna come on with us in just a couple minutes. But before we do that, I want to address one thing. Alvin Kamara.
Yeah.
What happened in Vegas is not a Vegas problem. It happens everywhere. But sometimes it's a dumbass problem. You got people who are dumbasses. First of all, I'm gonna pull the curtain all the way back. The NFL put the players at Lake Las Vegas, 45 minutes away from the Strip.
Yeah.
And they still okay, I get it. And then you go to the club. They go to Dre's. Now, look, Dre's is a popular club. We've gone, we've been there, whatever.
Still go.
Still, yeah. But the thing is this. You know what you're going to get into at Dre's. There's going to be some thottery. There's going to be some effery. I'm trying not to curse. New Year.
You know what? I know where you're going, but at the same time, I think everybody has to understand these are young men. They got a lot of pent-up aggression.
Yep.
They've been playing their asses off all season.
Mm-hmm.
They want to get out. They want to have some fun, right? That's one side, and you need to understand that. Young guys need to understand that they're targets.
Yep.
I don't necessarily know what happened that brought Alvin Kamara and his boys to the point of doing all of that. But I do understand, because of experience myself in my own business and in the music business, people will provoke you.
100%.
They will provoke you to get you to make a move that you'll regret and end up in a lawsuit or something worse.
But here's the thing. So we've been out together, and obviously we're boys, and let's say we have some of the homies come out from down here in Southern California or wherever.
Yeah.
We have a good time, but we also know, we know when to walk away.
Absolutely.
And I think this goes to a fan issue a little bit. Fans feel they can say what they want, when they want, how they want,
right,
with no repercussions or recourse.
Right.
Well, you pick the wrong people sometimes, because
period.
I know some of my boys, and we know some of your boys.
Man,
we don't have to do anything. They're gonna do it, and then we'll just walk away. Like, hey, we had nothing to do with it.
Yeah, but I mean, these things just get out of control quick. So
True.
It's when you're in a position that he's in, you just really have to control yourself. You got to control yourself. You got to control your crew, and just. Man, you got too much on the line to allow somebody to provoke you.
Yeah.
That's really what it comes down to. So it's a sad situation. I'm praying that, it gets resolved for the people who got hurt.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's a bad situation. I wish it didn't happen. But like you said in the beginning, this is not a Vegas issue. This is just an issue, period. This
Exactly.
happens everywhere.
So what we're going to do is we're going to take a quick break. Stay locked on to the franchise Instagram page. We're going to TQ's Instagram page, but we're going to come back in just a few minutes. We're going to have James Jones, former Green Bay Packer, former Raider. We're going to be on with him. So we're going to do everything out of here, and then the show will go up on the franchise website some point today, maybe tomorrow. So you guys can have the whole show all in one. We'll just bundle it all. We'll make one big-ass show for you. It's the Franchise Show with Joe and TQ on Franchise Sports Media. We'll talk to y'all in just a minute.
When the structure is undone by some new concoction. Now I walk softly and carry a big stick. Original gorilla in the mist.
Welcome back to the Franchise Show. Joe Arrigo, TQ.
Yeah, we here.
That's the single, OG, coming off the new album.
Real soon, baby. Real soon. And we ain't got no name yet. It's coming. It's unnamed at the moment.
There it is.
Yeah.
We got James Jones.
Hold on. You got best dressed in the building,
Best
James
dressed.
Jones.
There we go.
Let's get it.
Best dressed Super Bowl champion, Green Bay Packer, Raider.
Yes, sir.
Raider.
See, I'm a Packer fan, but we live in Vegas.
There you go.
So
Yeah,
I was a big fan of yours.
Best of both worlds too. Packers, Raiders.
There it
Gotta
is.
root for the Raiders now.
There it is.
I love the ring. I'm actually real cool with Schmitty.
Yeah, there you go.
And-
Smitty, my dude.
Yeah, that's my guy right there. He played with my brother in Jacksonville.
Absolutely.
So, man, let's talk about the Raiders real quick.
Yeah.
I know you're blessing us with a few minutes. What do you think of the situation in McDaniels and hiring Carr? Or hiring McDaniels and Derek Carr?
You know what? I mean, number one, I feel for my brother DC, man. I mean, what is it, year 9? He going on year 9, or is this going to be going on year 10? It's one of those, but either going on year 9 or going on year 10. I mean, he done has 6 head coaches.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it sucks the situation that happened with Gruden. I mean, obviously they had to let him go, but if you're going to bring anybody in that's going to help develop and get Derek Carr and the Raiders to where you're trying to go, I mean, to bring in an offensive mind like Josh McDaniels, I mean, I think this was the right move. And I love them bringing the personnel guy over there with him. You know what I mean? Because you got 2 guys coming from the same organization that has the same vision. You know what I mean? That'll be able to work with each other well. You know, you just heard too much stuff about, you know, certain guys didn't want this guy, but Gruden overruled everybody.
Right.
You know what I mean? So you need that to where you say, hey, man, I got my scouts out here. They say this boy ain't no good. All right?
Yeah.
Believe what he's saying.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I'm not saying they're going to be right 100% of the time, but if the scouts is on the road 24/7, breaking it down, watching films on these guys, meeting these dudes and all that, believe them. And if he
They
tell
know.
you, hey, this dude right here can go, you know, let's look at him and, you know, hey, as an organization and see if we could get some good players in there. So I like them doing that. So both these dudes is on the same page. I think this is going to be really good. Obviously, you know, I always tell everybody it's not about the coach. It's about the players.
Yes, indeed.
The players is going to win and lose games. So for me, yes, you brought Josh McDaniels in there, but they need some help on the offensive side of the ball. You need some help on the O-line. I believe you need another big-time receiver out there.
Yeah.
Whether you got to go get one in free agency or get one through the draft. But I would be eyeing some of these guys in free agency, man. I mean,
Well, there's one we're not gonna be talking about.
Hold on. Why not? Why
I
not?
know we always recruit DA, man.
Come
he
on,
always
man.
recruit Devontae, but Devontae's stuck. He ain't going nowhere, man. Number one.
Thank you.
Number one.
Come on, man.
Number one, he don't believe he's stuck. But number one, I mean, even if they don't come to terms for a long-term deal, they're able to tag him.
Right.
You're never going to let a big-time player like that
Right.
walk out of the building. So I don't see Tay leaving, but I mean, you have guys like Mike Williams.
Yes.
You have guys like Calvin Ridley, who you know everybody
What about-
said
what
the
about Allen
Falcons is
Robinson?
willing to look at some. You got guys like Allen Robinson coming from the Bears, who he coming off injury, but still can play at a really high level. But my thing is who's going to be a really good complementary guy on the other side to Hunter Renfrow and B. Edwards?
Yes.
Because you already got Renfrow and B. Edwards. B. Edwards, big boy on the outside, can run, can make the tough catch. You got Hunter Renfrow in the slot who can do it all, you know, route running wise. So now can we get a guy like a Calvin Ridley, a Mike Williams on the other side that could go and, you know, contested catches? I think that'll be good for him as well. And then you beef up the O-line so you can be able to run Josh Jacobs in the run game. If they could do that with Josh McDaniels' mind, I think they'll be really good.
Yeah, I mean, dead on. I mean, I'm a defensive guy. I love the defense.
Yeah.
And I've been praying for years for them to do something on defense. And they got a unit together that has a foundation. And I feel like they need to add to that some more too. Like keep
100%.
getting them defensive linemen. It's going to be a deep defensive lineman draft.
Yep.
They need to pick one out the middle.
Never have enough pass rushers,
Right.
man. I mean,
Right.
we watching the game. Well, I mean, the people that's in the Super Bowl right now on both
Yeah.
sides of the ball is getting after the
They
passer.
go get the
You know what I'm
quarterback.
saying?
Real
So,
talk.
you know, you having these quarterbacks back there. I know we got Mad Max and, you know, and Ngakwe and all
Right.
that, but if you can add one more, you know,
Mhm.
with those guys and stay healthy and be able to get after the passer, you know, let them DBs have a time clock.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
And I don't want a 7-second time clock. For real. 3 seconds. We know that ball got to be
Right,
coming out.
right,
You know what
right.
I mean? And you play different. So
Changes
you
everything.
know, the good thing is they have foundation pieces.
Yes.
You know, you have a really good quarterback. You have a really good running back. You have Mad Max Crosby to build around on the defense. You have
Mhm.
Jonathan Abram over there. You know what I'm saying? So it'll be good.
Yeah.
You know,
Agreed.
San Jose State alum,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna tie this in, keep it Vegas, tie it in here with your quarterback was Marcus Arroyo, our head
Yes,
coach.
sir. Yes,
So
sir.
how was he as a quarterback now? And Marcus is gonna listen.
Yeah,
now,
tell us
so
the truth.
Tell us the truth, because I know what Marcus
We gotta
tells
hear
me.
it for real.
Marcus is all world if you let him tell it.
No, so to be honest with you, with Coach Arroyo, so I was telling this story with we took the kids to UNLV and let them, you know, tour the facilities, and I was talking to some of the parents, and I said, to be honest with you, Coach Arroyo gave me my welcome to college football, you know, he gave me my welcome to college football moment. So, you know, I was coming in as a, you know, as a freshman, you know, he's a senior, you know what I mean? So we had some guys that could go, you know, really play at the wide receiver spot. So, you know, he would obviously, those are starters. He would throw with them and all that. So one time he was out there just throwing with one of the coaches, and I was just coming in to do my normal routine, get on the jug machine, and I said, you know, let me go, you know, play catch with Arroyo. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I went over there, and he spun it to me, and the thing said, pow! And I said, oh, this ain't high school. I said, these quarterbacks up here is throwing, you know what I mean? And it came off his hands, and it stung my hands. I said, oh, I got to get ready.
Yeah.
You know, so ever since then, I'm like, hey, turn the jug machine up a little bit. What I was catching, that ain't how Arroyo throwing it out here, man. But, no, he can spin it, man. But you just talk about a great dude, great coach, man. I mean, he coached me, then he called plays for me, you know what I mean, the next year after, man. So, I mean, that's my brother, man. I'm happy for him. But, yeah, he gave me my welcome to college football.
You like what he's doing at UNLV, even though you play your Spartans, you know.
Yeah. You know, I root for him to win every game except that one.
Right.
You know what I mean? But no, I love what he's doing. I mean, even when I walk through the facilities, man, and to see how he has, you know, really changed it around over there. I mean, the facilities is A1,
awesome.
It's plushed up over there. So, you know, for me, you know, to let him keep building and let him keep bringing the guys in that he wants to bring in, I mean, he's going to flip this thing around.
Yeah.
So I'm going to ask the question he don't want me to ask, but I don't care.
Here we go.
Your best friend.
Yeah.
What they going to do with him?
I mean,
What's going to be his decision?
He
really?
got to stay, man. You know, if you would have asked me this question when training camp was starting, I would have said this is the last one for him.
Yeah.
You know, but just having conversations with him during the season, man, he was in a really good spot, not just with himself, but with the organization too. So
Really?
And then for him to come out after the season, like, man, I'm gonna sit down with him, let's see what works best. You know what I mean? I'll make my decision before free agency and all that. So, you know, we can see, you know, if we could keep certain guys and all that. So a lot of the signs for me leads to him staying, leads to them trying to get him a multi-year deal that's kind of cap friendly. You know what I mean? I just think the main question now is, if you do sign 12 and say you give him a 2-year extension and now and he already has one left, so that's 3 years. I mean, you're going to have to look for suitors for Jordan Love. You know what I mean? You're not just going to let him sit back, you know, under Aaron for 3 more years. So I think that'll be the tough questions, but I don't think he leaves, and I think they put a good product on the field next year.
Well, with that being said, then we know you got other spots to go. You jumped in real quick. So, James Jones, NFL Network, Super Bowl champion, Green Bay Packer, Oakland Raiders, San Jose Spartans. Thank you for joining us, Mr. Franchise. So we'll be back in a minute.
Yeah.
When the family unit is overrun, when the structure is undone,